Morning. I am going to be going over the OP-110 today, the use and care of the machine, all the things you should and should not do to your new portable. Starting at the beginning, the cords. You have two cords in the back. They need to be run to separate circuits. So that means that you can't just run both cords to one common outlet. You have to bring them to outlets that are going to be on circuit breakers of different rooms. One of these cords draws up to 20 amps if the pressure is turned all the way up, and about 16-17 amps for carpet cleaning around 500 psi. That's your heavy cord. Now that cord you're going to want to run to the laundry room, kitchen, maybe a garage circuit, something that has a 20 amp circuit breaker, and hopefully a circuit breaker with nothing else running on it at the time. So don't plug it into, let's say, the refrigerator outlet, as if the refrigerator comes on, you'll be drawing power away from your cord. The other cord only draws 12 amps. It runs a single vacuum motor. That one can be plugged in just about anywhere. You can go a hallway, a bedroom. 15 amp circuit breaker is all we need for that cord, and those are pretty much everywhere. So that's the cord situation. Going to the recovery tank. You have a filter at the top. This needs to be cleaned after every job. Also, you want to rinse out the tank through your dump valve in the back. Got water in there. Also, it's a good idea at the end of the job, once you've cleaned the filter and dumped the tank and rinsed the tank, let the machine run with the lid off. Both vacuum motors running, drawing in clear, dry air. This will help dry the vacuum motors out. You only need to do it for a few minutes while you're coiling up your hoses or what have you, and then you can go ahead and turn it off and then put your lid back on. This is your solution tank. You can fill it pretty much to the top, but once you've emptied the tank and run out of water, make sure that not only do you refill the tank, but you also dump the recovery tank. That way your water level never gets too high and tries to go up into the vacuum motors. There is no safety shutoff on these machines. So we're relying on common sense. As long as you only fill this tank once, there's no way this tank is going to get overfull. Okay. Each machine comes with a bleeder hose, which is zip tied on. This bleeder hose is designed to be hooked to the front of the unit right here, and then you can open up the hose. Let me just break this. Like so. And then you can turn your pump on and eliminate any air that might like so. As you see, it first comes out a little airy, then it goes completely clear. At that point, you know you've gotten all of the air bubbles out of the system. You don't have to do this all the time. If you run out of water though, and you run it long enough, it will start to ingest air, and it can't clear the air just hooking it up to the wand. You need to use this to get the air bubbles out. Anytime you have a pump problem, the very first thing you need to do is hook up your bleeder hose and make sure you've gotten all the air out. Okay, operation. Obviously you have two vacuum motors and a pump. Obviously you're going to want to run all three whenever you're using the machine. You cannot use this machine with just one vacuum. It will suck the air through the other vacuum because they are hooked up in parallel. So you always have to have both vacuum motors running to have good suction. Now the pump has a pressure gauge, and the regulator is down here. You can set it to whatever pressure you need in order to do whatever you're doing. Typically, carpet cleaners run between 400 and 500 psi. when they're doing carpets, and typically with the spinning tools for the tile and grout, you will run it all the way up to the 800 maximum that it's set at. Upholstery and furniture, you're going to run between 50 to 150 psi. And that, again, is fully regulated right here. This circuit breaker is for just the pump. If the circuit breaker ever pops, usually it's going to be because the motor was not able to get started. When these machines are new, the pressure will hold up, and if you turn it back on too fast, it's not going to do it because it's dropping enough. But you could theoretically have the motor lock up because it can't get started under full pressure. Now that usually doesn't happen much after it wears in because the relief valve won't hold the pressure anymore. But when they're brand new, sometimes they will. And that will kick the circuit breaker out. All you got to do is either loosen this up or hit the trigger on the wand if the hose is connected and get the needle down to 0 and then start it up again. Okay, obviously your main line connects here. Your vacuum hose here. And of course, on the other end of this side, we have the solution line and the vacuum line connected to the carpet wand. Also, we generally outfit the lead hose or the last hose with a valve. This valve is designed so that you can shut the pressure off while the tool is connected. Depressing the trigger will then eliminate the pressure between these two so that you can take and move from this tool to another tool, let's say like a hydroforce, without having to go back and turn off the pump. Simply, again, and then once you're hooked back up, turn your valve back on. Let's see what else. I think that pretty much concludes today's lesson on the OP-110.